I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just frazzled right now. So I had pretty much a full day planned, and this is kind of an issue I have between the Ikea program itself and the particular client that I was dealing with. So I guess I'll kind of get right into it. I had a job that was presented to me um, like last week, earlier last week, about a week ago, let's say. Blah. Anyway, so on this job, it was a mirror to be mounted. I'm like, okay, cool. It's a pretty large mirror, but they want it vertical, which is a lot easier than doing it horizontal from IKEA. And then there was a two chairs, and the two chairs were very simple, and the total came out to about $60. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a pretty simple job. It should take me about an hour. I do have an 11 o'clock that same day, but hey, this kind of works in my time frame. I should be able to get there at 8 in the morning, which I did today. Uh, do all the work within an hour, and that should give me plenty of time to get all the way down to the other side of town, another 30-minute drive to my next job. No problem, right? Well, I get there, and because I had spoken with the client about the items in chat ahead of time, so it was kind of perplexing that when I actually got to the location, I was like, okay, yeah, so where would you like me to set this all up at? And she takes me to this office, and she's like, because it's like a breast place, where they put fake boobs in people. Like they do consultations and stuff like that. Anyway, so I get there, cosmetic surgery. So I get there, and she shows me this giant cabinet, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, it's going to be exactly like this one, but in the other room. And I was like, yeah, that's not on the ticket. I'm going to have to call support. And she's like, oh, really? It isn't? Are you sure? And I'm like, no, I got the two chairs and the mirror. And she's like, oh, yeah, I thought that the quote was for including the cabinet with the chair and the mirrors. And I'm like, no, that quote is just for the mirror and chairs. So she's like, oh, well, in that case, if you can call them and just take off everything else, I just want the cabinets done, because I guess we can do the chair and mirrors. I'm like, all right, then. And, she ended up changing her mind. She wanted the cabinets and the mirrors done. So I got a hold of them. And I don't have a picture to show you guys, obviously, right now. This is live. But I showed, I took, sorry, I'm just so all over the place with this. I took the article number for the wardrobe, noted down that there was two of them. And I understand how this works. When you get a PAX unit, when you get like a lot of especially wardrobes and stuff like that, especially the Besta units, they only charge for the frame, and that is to include anything that goes inside of it, which is a bummer because frames, even with the PAX unit, it takes like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. It doesn't take a super long amount of time to put the frame together. I mean, honestly, I think it takes longer to take the item out of the box and put the frame together. Like, that's, like, the frames are simple. It's all the components on the inside that take the longest. So it kind of makes sense that that's kind of how they price it. So I still think that a lot of these prices aren't worthy, but it kind of makes sense when, okay, the frames are really easy, so it is the inclusion of everything inside that makes sense for why it would cost that point for the client. Anyway, so I'm on the phone with her, and the lady wants a quote before approval, and the lady on the phone's like, oh, it's going to be $36 per frame. And I'm thinking to myself, I would not have taken this job if it was $36 per frame for this. Like, even if I didn't have anything else going on, that's not worth the amount of time it's going to take to do this. Because I know how long this takes. It's one thing with the PAX unit. I'm getting like, almost $70 for an entire PAX unit. That's kind of worth my time. Not this. Yo, what's up? So, yeah, I'm talking about an IKEA task. If you want to know, it was a Besta, right? But it wasn't like one of the TV stand. It wasn't one of the, the smaller ones. It was the big cabinet one. It was basically like a giant PAX unit. And it just it really irked me how crappy this was. So it was $36 for the two of them, and then plus the mirror. So I made out $70 for the job. I was there for like 4 hours, from 8 in the morning until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, dude, that's not worth my time. That's less than I get paid hourly, So it really kind of irked me, and I called support, and was like, that price isn't right. And in retrospect, I should have like looked at the price and I should have said, I'm sorry, but for this price, I can't do this. I want to provide you a good experience, but that's going to take way longer than the price that it's not worth it for me. Dude, yeah, that's the thing I hate about Bestas. The the Vestas and all the hinges with the doors that go with them, like it takes forever. This is another thing. The lining them up takes forever, and they had the glass shelves. So you put those little hooks in, you screw them in, and you just like tighten them up with that little rubber stopper. It takes forever. Like putting those shelves in took almost an hour for all those shelves in that damn thing. The drawers. I mean, I think I'm a pro at drawers, but drawers, no matter what, always take a long time. Even if you assemble it, do it the assembly line and you knock them all out real quick. Drawers are a pain in the butt. Anyway, yeah, dude, I'm just so like over that experience from today. And it sucks because I did have another client and I had to cancel on my next client. That I had a full day planned. I had I'm gonna go to this first job, should take an hour, and then I go to the next job, and I'm gonna be there for like 5 hours. So I'm gonna make out pretty good. And so I took a massive pay cut because of this experience today. And I even called support after I did my thing, I invoiced and everything, which I had to do. I called them, let them know, and they're like, okay, we'll make sure that in the future, because I understand like they're trying to simplify things for the customer, but like, why are you going to have every single Besta product, that entire line of product, under one price point? That makes no sense. It makes sense to have the $36 for one of the smaller cabinets that has drawers and shelves and accessories on the inside. It makes sense for one of the smaller units. For this giant unit, that's the size of a normal wardrobe for a PAX, it's that size, and with that complexity of the components that go with inside it, I mean, that should have been easy, no problem. It should have been like $60 per frame. That's how much it should have been. Like, I should have easily made $140 on this job.